Being in prison is painful. The separation from my family, my children, my husband. I spent my prison time in California and Minnesota, and my family lives in Utah, so there was a great distance that separated us, and we only visited about once a year. But I would pour my heart out in letters, and there was a lot of time I spent outside under a tree just taking a look at the pain that I caused my family and kind of accepting that. I remember a visit that my husband and kids came out to see me, and it had been a year, and so my kids were like 6 inches taller, and I could see that my daughter, Sadie, she was in her teenage years, she was really struggling, she was super depressed. And I looked at her and I said, Sadie, I am so sorry for the pain that I've caused you. And she said, Mom, I'm so tired of this. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. And I went back to my bunk that night, and I laid in my bunk and I just sobbed and I begged God to take care of her, because I knew she was hurting because of me. And I also knew that the only way forward was for her to experience that and for her to tell me how I hurt her. And so I started writing letters to her. And one of the things that I did when I laid there at night is I would listen to music, because I had an MP3 player, and I would imagine the day when my family would be okay again. Especially Sadie, because she was this happy, joyful little kid. I'll share a picture at the end. And I wanted for her so much to feel that joy again. And I imagined a future day of her dancing on a beach in California, and that she would feel that kind of joy again. So I would write letters to my kids, and I'm going to share a letter that I wrote to Sadie. I wrote a book about my experience. If you're ever interested, it's on Amazon and Audible, but I wrote, Dear Sadie, instead of being sad that you're growing up without me, I want to grow up with you. I have some questions for you, then I'll tell you a little bit about me. If you could have any 3 wishes granted, what would they be? If all your clothes could only be one color, what would you choose? I wear green. What is your biggest dream? What is your biggest worry? If you could change your name, what would you change it to? Is there one thing you want to tell me that you thought you never could? Here I go. I like the color blue because it's the color of your dad's eyes. I love springtime because it's a time of rebirth. I like butterflies because they struggle to transform. Sometimes I act strong when I'm really scared, and I have a hard time telling people when my feelings are hurt. Sometimes I'm scared that my kids deserve a better mother, that maybe I'm just not good enough. I'm scared of failure too, and I worry too much about what other people think. I like to laugh, but sometimes I feel alone, even when other people are around. I'm trying to get better for our family, but most of all for myself. I'm tired of suffering and I want to feel good again. Love, Mom. I'm going to share a picture of our family. We went to Hawaii in January, and I had that moment when I saw my daughter Sadie dancing on the beach with my grandkids.
Good dancing.
Now do the wave.